Here we go.
Let me see you get low and freak some out. Freak some out.
You feel that? Okay,
Freak some out.
right,
Freak some out.
shout out to me
Freak some out.
for the intro.
Freak some out. Freak, 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 freak.
Update.
Oh.
They didn't actually let me officially use it. I'm just hoping to so, welcome to Sly Social. Maybe we call it Chat with Sly or something like that. Give me good names on because I'm trying to come up with some myself and just not clicking yet. We have Thanksgiving coming up, right? And a big stressor at Thanksgiving is seeing family members you haven't seen all year. And sometimes by seeing them, you have to have conversations you don't want to have. Whether that be politics, vaccines, disease, anything along those lines. And I wanted to pass along something I've been thinking about since SLY stands for punching the table. No, SLY stands for somebody like you. So I am just somebody like you trying to discuss everyday things that I think cause us stress, anxiety, which can lead to more serious things, right? So with Thanksgiving coming up, I'm trying to think. Unwanted conversations cause unwanted stress. Put it on a t-shirt, throw it in the closet. My thing about that is I think we can avoid that overwhelming feeling of needing to either run away from the conversation or dive too far in. And this is what I'm going to say. This is my thought. There is no reason to feel you need to be right or to prove somebody else wrong. I know that doesn't sound logical to some, and that's okay. My thing about this is, as soon as you realize there's no such thing as right and wrong, there's such things as right to you and wrong to you. People have different experiences in their life that cause them to think a certain way, and them thinking a certain way causes that to be their reality. Now, you might not agree with their reality, but hot take, their reality is none of your damn business, just like your reality is really none of theirs. We can throw around some examples. We'll talk about politics, talk about the vaccine, because I'm not a political speaker. I hate politics as much as I hate talking about vaccines, but what kind of podcast or chat would this be if we didn't talk about real life shit? So the only thing I will say in preface to these conversations is if you disagree, that is fine, and I welcome disagreement. The only thing I do not welcome is being a scumbag and trying to show how low your can't whistle things hang, because nobody likes a keyboard warrior. So we will respectfully disagree on this platform, and we will respect other people's we'll just respect people's opinions and not make them feel like, they're wrong for doing so. That is just my thing. I wanted to put it out there. So moving in, we'll talk about the vaccine first. We'll just maybe talk about the vaccine, because that's going to be probably a topic. It's going to come up during the holiday season here, and we want to best prepare you to get in front of that stress and anxiety. So whether you're pro or, and I'm going to say anti, whether you're pro, for or against, or you're right smack dab in the middle, both are okay. Both let me know that you are a free thinker and you've done the necessary research for you to make an informed decision on what is best for you and yours. So when somebody is pro-vaccine and they are trying to shove it down your throat that you're wrong for not wanting the vaccine, understand this. Instead of having that, that gut reaction to want to, that feeling, understand they have gone through things in their lives that have made them think that that is the right choice for them and probably everybody. You have gone through a different set of circumstances that have shaped your reality to think otherwise, that might not be the best thing for you. Like I said, both are right. It's depending on your reality. if somebody is pro-vaccine, like I said, maybe they've had wonderful experiences with government, they trust them, they understand that vaccines have done a lot of good in this world. Polio, chickenpox, I guess that would be called varicella, MMR, all that kind of stuff. I think MMR is a vaccine. I should know that, but I digress. Maybe other people have not had such good experiences and they don't feel the same way. Neither of you are right. Neither of you are wrong. One person has gone through a certain set of circumstances that have caused them to believe in one thing, and the other person, another. Both okay. The problem lies in how you address each other. And that comes down to respect. Ooh, you didn't want to hear that, did you? It comes down to how much do you respect other people that don't think like you. Is it so hard to think that one person on one side of the fence about something, someone on the other side of the fence can still be friends? They can still talk and have conversations that just might not have to revolve around these things. I'm going to ask you another question, which probably won't be a question, it'll just be me rambling. So bear with me. Somebody says they're for it or against it. Would it be so hard to ask a simple question? Why? What makes you for this vaccine? What are your life experiences that have brought you to this conclusion? What is your research that you've done? And don't say it in that condescending way where we all know you're like, what facts and what websites do you use? No. Genuine respect for people. Oh my gosh, I don't see it that way, but I would actually love for you to let me know the things you found that caused you to reach this really important decision in your life, because maybe I'm missing something, and use it as an opportunity to learn. You will find out a lot about this person, whether they just love to hear themselves talk and identify with other people and what they say and repeat regurgitated facts, or you'll find out that maybe some people have really good insight and you can learn from them. Ignorance in this sense can harm you almost as much as your own opinion. Because what if somebody does say something, you're like, oh man, that changed my mind. Crazy, right? Other side too. When they ask you, you have to show that same respect that you anticipated getting back. Now, I know we're talking about Thanksgiving, we're talking about holiday stress, because that is real. I don't know how a lot of people feel coming around the holidays, but sometimes the closest people to you are the opinions you value most. And when those opinions and values don't line up with yours, you almost feel, I don't want to say like you're a defect or you're defected, because you're a product of this environment and everything like that. So don't feel that way. You've gone through, just like if your parents have gone through a different growing up process than you did. Kids growing up now are going through that social media phase, where when I was in school, I think MySpace hit when I was like a senior in high school. Yeah, I'm dating myself just a little bit. All you 30 and over, we're still here. We're still vibing, just barely. So understand there's a different set of circumstances that I don't understand kids growing up, but I can do one thing and one thing only. I can be empathetic to understanding that there is more going on that meets my eye. I'm not in the schools seeing what's happening. I am not on their social media seeing what kind of bullying, negative talk, all that shit is going on. I'm not there to see it. So for me to think somebody going through all of this stuff is to think the same way as me, who didn't go through the things they're going through specifically, pardon me, but doesn't that sound kind of dumb and ignorant? That's just me. So how do we come at a solution with this, right? How do we prevent this from affecting our holidays and affecting our good time on Thanksgiving? We're going to stick to Thanksgiving because that's the next holiday coming up. it's just that it's almost use it as a time to learn about people. If these people are so close to you, shouldn't you value their thoughts a little bit more? Just like they should value yours. I'm not saying that, this should be all you and they can do and say whatever the hell they want. No, I'm not saying that. And might get to a point where you're like, this is like having a conversation with a brick wall, except I hate the things this brick wall is saying. It's that. It's, you can learn a lot from listening to people and how they speak to you and how they interpret your opinions. Just like I expect people to think the same way for me. If you're talking to me and I'm just like, no, shut up, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, didn't you take the .gov website? Yeah, .gov. Have you seen what the government's done? Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Like, understand it's about one thing and one thing only. Respect. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. And I'm going to drop a big one on you. I might lose you here. I might not. I hope I don't, because this is something that has been really, really helping me and get through this process. It is how you treat other people is how you're treating yourself. The other person is you and you are them. I know, it's crazy. But think of this. It's just a reflection of you. If you're having an argument with somebody, it's not them you hate, it's how you feel is how you hate. Does that make sense? I'm trying to, it makes sense in my head, but when I try to say it out loud and I didn't write anything down, it's a little bit more difficult. But that's what I'm trying to say is how you treat others is a reflection of how you treat yourself. So if you're coming back with all these fiery responses and you're angry at people that are saying different things than you, that's how you're acting inside to yourself. Anytime you have something that might not work in your favor, you just get angry about it. Well, that seems like it's a big stressor too, right? That seems like it might be causing some of that anxiety. So there might be some other things that we can work on our own in order to help that, in order to, understand that we need to do some work too. So every time I talk to somebody and I do not agree with them, the first thing I look at is how am I reacting, because that's how I'm treating myself when no one's around. Just like self-talk. When no one's around and you're sitting there and calling yourself an F, like I'm a stupid idiot and I'm a fucking dumbass, that kind of stuff. That is how you're treating other people. That's how you're treating yourself. So keep that in mind too. I'm almost feeling that we're going to keep these a little bit shorter until I start writing them out. But I wanted to get that out. I wanted to be able to help anybody that I possibly can. So if you're having these same kind of thoughts, or same kind of anxieties, with holidays coming up, if you're traveling, if you don't know where to put all of these thoughts, put them into yourself. Do some work on you, and I think that will help a lot with, not right away. It's a long process. Trust me, it's a long process. But do work on you. Do work on you, and the rest will come. And if anything else, you're just going to find the people that you don't identify with anymore, and you want to stop putting that much energy into those relationships, and that's okay too. Nobody is permanent, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. I hope everything, goes the way you want it to. But remember, if it doesn't, look at it with an open mind. Something's trying to tell you. Something's trying to tell you where else to look. You just have to listen. I'm like a professor doing this. But thanks for joining, guys. Sly, Chats with Sly. Like I said, if you have any ideas, the name for the podcast, I don't want to call it a podcast. That's like my number one thing, is I don't want to call this a podcast. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Shoot me a DM. We're all good. Like I said, just somebody like you talking about some shit that we all probably want to talk about and have on our mind. So until next time, guys, I will catch you later, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace and love. Peace.